Bombay Bicycle Club, Fantasies EP review. Let's chat about it. Hey friends, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this latest EP from UK-based indie pop band Bombay Bicycle Club, who I have not gotten a real chance to chat about over the years too much, for one reason or another, but I have been a casual fan of the band since their inception, their debut. I had the blues when I shook them loose. It's okay, for an indie rock album that came out around the time that it did. It's got an energy to it. The songwriting was pretty good as well. I thought that vocally, this was like a real crapshoot of an album, and I either really loved what they were doing or was just not really into what they were doing. I also felt like the band wasn't doing a lot to really stand out, and if that didn't make matters worse enough, the next time we heard from them was this really awkward indie folk project Flaws, which is, it is certainly full of them. I just really was not that invested in what they were doing at the time, which is why their A Different Kind of Fix album really caught me as off guard as it did. This was a much more flashy, synthy-driven album that was a lot more colorful. It had a lot of pizzazz. It also had really great production as well. It caught me totally out of left field. It was like listening to an entirely new band, and that goes double for 2014 So Long, See You Tomorrow. I loved the hell out of this thing. This was honestly around the time that I just started doing reviews and was writing them at the time. And at the end of the year in 2014, this was one of my picks for really underappreciated albums of the year. But clearly we cannot have nice things because 2020 brought us Everything Else Has Gone Wrong, where everything went wrong. Imagine the lush, colorful atmosphere of So Long, See You Tomorrow, but with none of the passion or decent songwriting. It was an absolute mishmash of a project, so much so that I really just cut ties with the band entirely. Also, the songwriting here, some of the worst in indie pop that I had heard in years. So much so that, a couple of years ago when they dropped the My Big Day project, I'm going to be totally honest with you, I didn't even listen to it, even though people were heralding it as a major work in indie pop and maybe the band's best album. And I'm kind of pissed that I didn't because, honestly, it really is one of their best projects. It is just a triumph of bubbly, quirky indie pop with a lot of personality. Also, Damon Albarn is on this thing. Also, Jay Som and freaking Shaka Khan. This thing is absolutely loaded. Which leads me to this new EP, much like the My Big Day project. All 4 tracks on this EP do have a feature on it. In this case, they are all singer-songwriters based out of the UK. Let's chat about this thing. This EP starts off with Fantasneeze featuring Matilda Mann, and I was worried about this track because, God, this is a terrible song title, but it's actually a pretty breezy, enjoyable indie pop tune. It's sweet, it's pleasant, it's charming, it's got that upbeat, jangly riff and the good vibes of their music. I just can't be in a bad mood listening to this track. It's just so upbeat and peppy and joyous. And Matilda's vocals, while not mind-blowing, honestly really do bring this track together. It's just a really pleasant indie pop tune from Bombay Bicycle Club. Nothing mind-blowing, but it's just really nice when it's on. Willow featuring Lucy Rose is also really, really nice. This is one of the more playful tracks here. We get a very bubbly, very alive-feeling synth line. It's also got a scuzzy, gnarly riff that's just out of reach, which I really, really like. On top of that, Lucy Rose, as far as chemistry with Bombay Bicycle Club goes, look no further. Her performance is really great. It's another very charming track with a sense of shyness that I just really appreciate. If you like the direction they were going for on My Big Day, you're definitely going to want to hear this. And honestly, Better Now featuring Ray Morris might be the best tune here. It's got these bright horns and an upbeat, groovy riff. It's got some pep in its step. It's the punchiest track here. But it's also the most complete sounding because it's got that shiny production and the quirky personalities of the music that I enjoyed from Bombay Bicycle Club to begin with. It also just happens to be the most instantaneous and truly catchy track here. I feel like I needed a track like this, and I honestly want to listen to a lot more of it. It's a pleasant companion piece. It's nothing mind-blowing, but if you're a fan of the band, you're going to want to hear this. But it is just kind of fine at the end of the day. Like Blindfold featuring Liz Lawrence, I don't think this track really pans out too well. It's one of the more abstract and interesting tracks here, and it actually has a really promising intro. Like the glitchy beat and the synths at the start. That excited me, but they don't really pan out very well. I just wish it was a little bit more tuneful. It has a really interesting bass, but nothing really happens. Plus, Liz Lawrence, as far as features go, I'm not really into her performance. It's easily the sleepiest one here. I just feel like all 3 tracks that we get outside of this one had a lot more chemistry. Nah, it's not really that good. This EP is fine. If you enjoyed the direction of My Big Day and you just like very upbeat, feel-good, jangly pop, give this EP a listen. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it's where the band is right now, and if you're a fan, or you're a fan of upbeat and jangly pop with a lot of personality, give this a shot. It's a pleasant EP to have on. Just nothing mind-blowing. But I am feeling a light 7 on this EP, but let me know what you all think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.